Welcome, everybody, to another, let me set this up here, Games Talk Live. It's nice to see you guys again. Yeah, it's been a while, Hargeet. It's been, what, like at least a month, month and a half?
No, more than that. Yeah.
It's been too long. That's what Cullen Prime says in the chat. Yes, it has been too long. But let me tell you, it's for great reason. I had an awesome move I had to take. I say awesome now, but let me tell you, there was a point there, Hargeet, where it was not so awesome. Moving sucks. I think everybody can agree with that. Especially when you have to move on your own. And what I mean by that is you pack everything up, you put it in a truck, and you drive that big old truck 2 states away. It really is a lot to undertake, especially at my age, doing it, just me and my family, my wife and my kids. Thankfully, shout out to my wife and my kids. They all pitched in and did a great job with this move. It was honestly something that has been coming for the last 15 years or so. I've been ready to get out of California for so long. And you're going to listen to me talk about this for a minute, because this is huge for me. This is a big deal in my life, because not that I hated California. Well, yeah, I did hate California. Let's just say that. It's a beautiful place. Love California's beauty, and how just growing up there, I had an amazing time. But let's face it, today's California is not the 1980s California that I grew up in. It's the 80s and 90s. It's totally different today. Stores are wiped out, all that stuff, like retailers leaving, like so many companies going. My own company shut down out there because of the high costs of staying in business in California, let alone living there. Expensive as all crap, people. And that is one of the motivators behind wanting to get out of there the last 15 years. It's just very expensive. Shout out to Biff Rinaldi for being a member for 32 months. He says, finally, hope the move and birthday went great. Welcome back, fellas. It's been too long. It has. And the thing is like, I moved 2 states away, and it's no secret or anything. I moved to the eastern side of Idaho. I live on the border of Wyoming, basically. It's the Grand Tetons are right there. Like, I can look out my window and see them. It's amazing. I live right near Yellowstone as well. It's about 45 minutes away. So I am loving living out here. I've always liked the outdoors and stuff, so that's really what appealed to me about this area. And the fact that it's cheap. Oh my gosh. Everything from car registration to insurance to groceries to everything, you name it, because sales tax is cheaper here. So, of course. But it's just been so good. And the reason for my absence for this long, though, honestly, it's not just been the move. The move took a while. We got here pretty quickly, 10 days. We moved from the time we decided to move. This is crazy, people. We came out here. We did a dance competition out here for my daughter. She was out here, and we loved the area, and we're like, this would be a great place to move, but we weren't really settled on it or anything. We went back home 2 weeks later. We just decided one day, hey, let's put in an application on this house. Let's try to get out there and move. Okay, so we said, let's do it. We were confirmed within 2 days, and within 10 days of that decision, we were already here with our stuff. That's how crazy it was, moving that far away that quickly. But of course, the unpacking, all that stuff, setting up my little system here, all my gear and stuff. The cool thing is, and I'm happy about this, I'm back in a studio now. I have my own little, it's actually a pretty big walk-in closet. And I used to use one at my last house years ago, and I loved it. And I'm back in one of those, and it's great for the sound and all that stuff. But it's just nice to be somewhere, Hargeet, and I hate to keep going on here, but it's nice to be somewhere where I'm finally at peace. And at my age, I just turned 50 just a couple of weeks ago. And that means everything, honestly. To be at peace. It's I used to have crackheads and stuff outside my door sometimes, and I'd have to shoo them away. That is not a thing here. Homeless is not a thing here. They can't survive in the winter, so there's no homeless because it snows a lot here. A lot. Anyways, let's get into you, Hargeet. How have you been? It's been so long, my friend. Please let me know about you.
Yeah, I think the last time we did a stream was at the end of June, so it's been a while. Yeah, and in the meantime, I started a new job, and that's been going pretty well. Pretty busy with that.
Nice.
And we've had all sorts of news on both sides with the Xbox and, well, even the third side, Nintendo. And then we've had so PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox, but we've also had some fun stuff on the PC side with all sorts of fun things going on there with credit card charging and content being taken away.
Oh, and not only that, Windows just had an update that destroys your NVMe's or something. And like I had to roll back my Windows just yesterday. Somebody hit me up on that. So crazy.
All sorts of fun things going on. Yeah, it's been an interesting several months. It's certainly been an interesting year so far. Gaming is kind of in an interesting state right now. But yeah, plenty of things to talk about that we have not talked about.
There is so much and so much I don't know. You're gonna have to forgive me. This episode, it's gonna be a lot of Hargeet filling me in on a lot of stuff because I have not even been home this whole time. Like every other weekend, I was out like doing different things for my family and stuff, and we were like not even in the state. So it's been really crazy, but now it's settling. It's finally settling down. So I'm at a point now where I'm like, yes, today is the day. Hargeet hit me up yesterday and was like, are we on tomorrow? Because he would hit me up every week and I would be like, no, not yet. I'm out of town. But finally, we are able to do this. Hargeet, let's start off with something. So I've heard that Sony, is now starting to, I guess Hiroki Totoki is starting to talk about branching out outside of just their console, like focusing just on their platform, possibly moving games onto other platforms, including Xbox. What's going on with this?
So, and that's been confirmed. So, essentially, Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox. And that was pushed by PlayStation.
Yes.
The studio Arrowhead, they came out and said that this was not us. This was PlayStation. Thank them. And this is apparently their, I guess, start of moving things over to see what performance they get out of it. So Helldivers 2 comes out this week on Xbox. Gears is going over there the same day on PlayStation.
Wow.
Of course, it's coming to Xbox as well. But Gears Reloaded is coming out to both Xbox and PlayStation this week, same day, 26th. And Helldivers 2 comes over. And one thing they did that was, really a push for the fact that they are all in on this is they partnered up and put ODST, Halo ODST, as I think it's just a skin set, whatever it is, but it is in Helldivers. So now you can, get ODST, in Helldivers. So that is a very cool idea.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Like,
no, that's cool. What's crazy is like, and I know we've said it for so many years, going back to the RDX podcast, you and I, and even before you joined the RDX podcast, it was always stated. I mean, Dealer back in the day, and by the way, I've been talking to Dealer. Dealer's all good. Dealer, just I don't know if he'll ever be back. I don't know, but anyways. He's even stated many years ago, when Xbox started putting games out on, PC, and then that Sony would follow suit eventually. And then it became even to the point where, now that we've seen games going to the PlayStation from Xbox, more recently, we've been talking about how, Sony will probably do that too. It's just that the industry is changing. And it's something that is not something that like, oh, we're the oracles. We're so good that we just, predicted this. No, it's just kind of obvious. It's the way it was going. And it's surprising. And I honestly don't care. Honestly, it doesn't bother me either way. I see a lot of people in the community that are now in the Sony community going through like a denial process online. I've been checking out the last couple of days trying to get, in touch with what's going on in the community. And I see how some are like infighting. And it reminds me, honestly, of how the Xbox folks were fighting and saying, no, it's just 4 games. It's just 4 games. They're doing the same thing over there right now. It's just one game. It's just one game. And it's like, eventually it's not going to be just one game. I mean, we've learned that from Phil Spencer and company over at Xbox. And it's just the industry. It's changing. And honestly, I don't see the big deal because there's something that we've said for many years now. Exclusivity does not make a game better. Okay. And what I mean by that is like the only people who really care about this whole thing about losing exclusives are honestly the console warriors, the people who want to fight amongst, each other over these consoles. And at the end of the day, these games are still competing, whether or not they are. I mean, it doesn't matter if it goes to like an Xbox game goes to PlayStation and vice versa. That game still has to compete for our dollar. Okay, it has to be a good game because there's this like thing that's going around it. Like I heard Gaz and Porter Rock talking on his show, by the way, shout out to Gaz. They were talking and it's almost like they're talking and saying stuff like the quality of these games or they're not going to compete as well because it's not exclusive anymore. And I'm like, what does it have to do with the quality of the game? The game has to compete. The game has to be good or people will not buy it. So on that front, it doesn't matter. The only people who truly care, and by the way, Gaz, honestly, I don't know why you care anymore. It's just the same as me. You left the console market because you got tired of the performance. It wasn't good enough for you, just like I did. So in hindsight, like, or just going forward, what does it matter? Let's say if in 5 years, 10 years, there's no more consoles for you. It doesn't matter for you. You don't care about that. Now, I can understand those out there that are upset, that are just console guys, and they want that next console. And the thing is like they want that next console. I mean, there's a caveat here. They want an affordable console, and I just don't think affordable consoles is a thing anymore. I think we've gotten to the point where they're just going to be at least $600. $700. I mean, people are out there trying to tell me that the next PS6 Hargeet is going to be cheaper. And I'm like, how? When they just upped the price of the 5-year-old PS5. Make it make sense. How is the PS6 going to be cheaper? I don't understand that mindset.
Yeah. I mean, it could be cheaper than the Xbox. I don't know if you saw all that as well.
Cheaper than the Xbox, the upcoming Xbox, right?
Yeah. So we had hardware leaks, potential rumors here of what we have for the PS6 and what we have for the Xbox as well. It could be that there's a slight difference, but yeah, I don't expect it to be cheap. Look, the bottom now is the Switch 2. It's $450, which may go up, by the way. They're hinting that it might go up. Yeah. So that's your floor. And if that's your floor, do you expect the next Xbox or PlayStation that's going to be substantially more powerful to be cheaper? Yeah, I mean, I don't see it. It's not realistic to think that anymore.
And I haven't really looked at
this whole subsidizing it thing.
The subsidizing is gone.
Up. They're like, we're done. We're not subsidizing.
I agree with you there. It's I in this past month or almost 2 months, I guess, since I've been gone, I've really reflected on a lot, and I'm much more again, as I said at the beginning of the show, at peace, but also at peace with just everything in life, including my hobbies. And I look at the situation, I'm like, I've said some dumb things in the past. I'll admit I have. But I look at this, the gaming space much more differently now because I've tried to get into some games here and there, especially AAA. And I really, can't get into a lot of these games, and the reasoning being that there is such a lack of creativity in the market right now in the AAA space.
Right?
Everything is formulaic. Everything is the same.
Yeah.
Every franchise, like even the franchise that I used to love, Assassin's Creed, I don't love it anymore. Assassin's Creed Shadows was just more the same, and I'm just like, I need something new, something fresh. That's why games like Expedition 33 was such a breath of fresh air. So amazing to me. It was so good. Because Baldur's Gate 3, another game this generation. Elden Ring, another game this generation that just pushed their genres forward. And that's the type of stuff we need in the AAA space that I'm not seeing. And it's like, I just don't care about this whole exclusivity thing. I really don't. But when it comes to like the games, I just want good games, especially that they're talking about spending $80 now on games. Like they want to sell these games for $80. I'm like, well, make it good and I'll be there day one. But
and that was another thing that happened is they rescinded the $80.
I saw that. I saw that.
Everybody came back down to 70, save Mario Kart World. Everybody came back down. It's like, holy crap. There was enough pushback that apparently everybody said no. Including up to now, as far as I understand it, even Take-Two is not bumping up to 80.
Well, that's great news. That's awesome news because honestly, when I heard like Outer Worlds 2 was going to be $80, I'm like, even though I loved Outer Worlds, the first game, I don't want to pay even $70 for Outer Worlds. And I won't. I'll subscribe to Game Pass.
10 bucks, 12 bucks, whatever game.
Yeah, and then I'll play the game, and then because I told you before I left, I'm using Game Pass in that way. I'm waiting a few months, subscribing, playing a few games, then unsubscribing, and I'm just going to keep doing that. And that's fine for me. Like if you want to stay subscribed, you like all these games, cool. But I think the fact that the point I was getting to is, from just looking back at what people are talking about the last couple of days, really, perusing the Twitter streets, if you will, looking at what people are saying about games and stuff. And I've put out a couple of tweets that were very controversial in a way, like stating my opinions on today's state of AAA gaming and how it doesn't really impact me much, like in the way of wanting me to buy games. A lot of people are pushing back. A lot of people are agreeing with me, but there are those that are pushing back. And I look at the situation as, I think, and I'm going to say this, and this is going to be controversial. I think sub-services such as Game Pass have impacted people's mindsets on some of these games. These games might not be the greatest games, but because you get them essentially for just $15 to $20 a month or whatever Game Pass is right now, it does give you the sense that, hey, I didn't pay much for this game. So the analogy that I used a lot, and I used it towards Colt, is like when you're working somewhere and your company decides to buy you free lunch, it's always better when it's free. So you eat the pizza they bring you, even if it's Little Caesars, and you're still like, hey, this is cool. I didn't have to buy it, And that's the kind of the way I look at the state of gaming right now. It's like I see the sub-services as being like that cheap alternative to getting into a bunch of games, a ton of games. But are the games that are all coming out all that good? I don't think so, and this is my opinion. Anyway. No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's been on the decline. Even outside sub-services, there's a lot of AAA games that aren't good. Well, so this is not an attack on Xbox. This is just saying that this is the state we're in, and I think the more they're pushing these prices up, that's why they rescinded on the $80, because they saw the backlash. People don't want to spend $70 on the current titles that we have today. Why the hell would they spend $80? It's insane. Like I just don't see it. Oh, did we have a hiccup there? I think we had a hiccup. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it, like you just froze for a second there. I don't know, but
we're back.
You're back now. Yeah, we're back.
I don't know. That's the way I see it. Like I just see a lot of people just content with what we're being given. And I don't see these games being The AAA anyway. A lot of the AAA. And it's not all games.
So,
Like I said, I mentioned some that were good this generation, but there's been a lot of stinkers, man. A lot.
okay. I mean, look, I think industry wide, here's the problem, right? It grew too much. And as you grow, what happens? You get investors. Investors then want return. Where it used to be more about keeping the platform going and having enough to keep the company going, a Nintendo, Sega, something like that, right? But now it's big conglomerates. It's not, it's Sony. Sony is saying, well, hey, this division, why isn't it making more money? I need to give more to my shareholders. What's going on, right? Microsoft, same thing, right? Now it's become big. It used to be a little, whatever, you're a niche over there. Who cares? Do whatever you want. But now they're a big pillar, and so now the finance department of, so Amy Hood comes in and says, "Where's my return? You're supposed to be generating this much. Where's my return?" So it just becomes like that, right? And so it's not about just, hey, this would be a fun thing to do. Go do it. It's more, okay, if I do this, I invest $200 million. What am I getting back? Do I get $1 billion? Do I get 250 million? Well, that's not enough. I want $1 billion. Where's the billion, right? And this is where you get. So then they create formulaic bullshit. It's just like what happens in Hollywood, right? You create one thing. It was really good, cool. Let's just take as much advantage of that one thing as much as possible, and everybody gets sick of it, right? That's just what happens, right? And you get to this level of investment versus just creativity and fun. And unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Right?
So the thing is you're right. You're right. They also they are playing more towards the investors and the shareholders rather than the gamers. They used to why
are games going to other platforms? Because they want more money.
Exactly. But because they are playing up to the shareholders, it's also caused the problem of trying to push outside of that safe zone with these games, trying to be more creative. And that's why
safer gives me more return, right? That's what they do. On top of that, this market has changed quite a bit. A lot of it now is these black hole games that are free to play. Some of them you have to pay for, fair enough, but a lot of it is free to play, and that's where the majority of the money is made. And it's like, well, okay, if that's the case, you either invest in that. That's why Sony went down the path of making 12 live service games. Why? They want that same thing. They want that same pie. Right? They're looking at, well, why are my players on these other games and not my games? Because that's what they want to play. That's just the way it is. Microsoft, saw that right up front as well and said, "Oh, let's go buy Minecraft," and they did. And look at where that is. It's still tops everywhere, right? It is what it is, right? Then they got the opportunity. They're like, okay, we can buy Activision. Yes, let's buy that. It gives us King, which is Candy Crush. Why the hell not? It gives us Overwatch. It gives us Call of Duty. Why the hell not? These are massive black hole games that just keep making money. World of Warcraft. Yes, please bring the money. It's been working. And that's what they do. And, so unfortunately, this does tend to move towards a certain type of mindset, right? That they're all looking for these live service things. Everybody does this. Everybody. And to the detriment of what we used to expect, right? Ubisoft. Live service. What did we want from them? The creativity that they used to have, right? But that's not there. Now it's live service. Or we have, like you said, Assassin's Creed that takes 500 million hours to finish, which it just way overstays its welcome, right? It just doesn't just give you a succinct game. It just way overstays itself, and that's what I felt. Like after 100 hours, I'm like, why is this game not done?
Yeah.
Why is the game not done? Like, just stop already.
and then it also brings in the other problem too, right? Because of all this, because of the people not buying these games because they're not that good, you're getting studio closures because they're playing up to these shareholders. It's like this vicious cycle that's happening. You've got these shareholders that are constantly wanting more and more money, and you've got these developers that are playing it safe, yet their games are failing. So as a result, they lose their jobs, and it's like, when is this going to end?
That's another big thing, right? The industry is just changing so much. There's an abundance of games, and if nobody differentiates, and that's unfortunately the problem, then they're just going to get lost in the shuffle. Like, I was watching Keeley's show and the Gamescom opening night live, and I'm like, it's good, but here's the problem. I see the same formula, like you were saying. There's another Wu Chang type game, Sword of something, I can't even remember what it was. Another China Hero Project type game, like. So it's like the fifth, sixth, seventh. Well, how many more of these are going to be? They have another Black Myth Wukong sequel. Like, okay, where's the the different type of games? The same like Soulsy wannabe.
Oh, yeah, dude, great point, Huggy. Like the last 5 years, everything is a Souls-like. Like
right?
the
And the only
AAA
company that
space,
does
there's
it
so
well,
many Souls-like.
the only company that does it well is, of course, the original, which is from.
FromSoft.
They
Yeah.
seem to reinvent. They keep reinventing the same formula that they created. Right?
Well, I mean, and that's another thing too. You have developers out there that let's go back to Baldur's Gate 3. Remember the whole thing where the developers were all upset saying that, oh, well, we can't do what Larian's doing. Don't expect that. That's a lot of work. And it's like, no, that's the type of quality we should expect. And that's the type of quality that succeeds. And the blueprints are out there. It's just that they either don't want to or they can't because they have to worry about their shareholders, the publishing, all that. They don't time constraints and all that, but the blueprints are out there. What did very well? Look at what Elden Ring did with exploration and their worlds. Like, you could do that. Developers can do that, but they're not copying that. They're just copying kind of like cookie cuttering just the combat system and everything, but the world itself is bland. And that was my biggest issue with Wukong. Wukong is a great little, boss fighter, like Souls-like game. But when it comes to exploration, there's nothing to be had there. It's plain Jane. And it needs more than that, in my opinion. And because we've got a ton of games like that out there. But yeah, I mean, it's a problem with the AAA space. Game Seeker with a Canadian, I believe, 10. Thank you. Says, good to see you guys back at it, I guess. I'm glad to hear you found your happy place, Fonz. Yes. Thank you. Definitely did. Who knew it was going to be freaking
Yeah, I mean,
Idaho.
I wouldn't say that we're in a bad place as far as the AAA space. There are still a lot of good games. It's just that we have so many other ones that are like, okay.
But see, I'm of the mindset right now where I would disagree with you and say there isn't a lot of great games in AAA. I would say there's some good ones.
Well,
but,
define AAA.
I'm talking about like,
this is always a thing, right?
games that are kind of on the more expensive side, and they're pushed heavily in advertising and marketing. The blockbusters that seem to come out. Veilguard failed miserably.
Yeah, but for every one of those, there's also other ones that are good, right? Now, like,
but I don't think there's a 1-to-1 there, Hargeet. Like, for me anyway, and because it's all subjective, right? Yeah, it's all subjective.
It wouldn't be a 1-to-1.
Because I personally feel like this generation has been the worst generation I've been a part of, and I've been a part of all of them. For me, in terms of games. Look, games and pricing, it's the worst.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, to me, the peak was obviously it was 360, right? That the 360 PS3.
I would say that was the peak. That was the real golden age of gaming. Yes.
Yeah, because you had so much. PS3 had good games. I'm not going to take that away. And the Wii.
But the 360 had everything.
360 had the first Mass Effect. It had BioShock. The same. It had like the Gears trilogy, and you had Halo 3, ODST, and Halo 4, and all, like it had so many. Yeah. And on top of that, all the other ones, all the Assassin's Creed, all the stuff that just came out, all this great stuff. We had 3, was it 4 games from Rockstar? We had GTA 4, 5, Red Dead Redemption, and I think they had like that tennis or whatever thing as well. And whatever they had a lot of stuff coming out that gen. It was crazy. When did Bully come out? Was that gen as well?
I think that one was the gen before. I want to say Bully was PS2. I think.
Right? And since then we had RDR2. That's what we've had. RDR2. That's all that we've had from Rockstar.
Isn't that crazy? That's insane.
Exactly, right? Versus what we've had before, it was so much more. We had Elder Scrolls 4, Elder Scrolls 5, Fallout 3, all from the Bethesda team, right? Yeah. Again, it's just now since then we've had Fallout 4.
Yeah,
and now Starfield. That's basically it, right? And like after so much time, it's just so different. So that is the peak for me. Now, as far as like, is the gen terrible? There's been plenty of good games. I don't want to say there haven't been good games. It's just different now. A lot of the creativity we tend to get is in that AA or indie space.
Yeah.
And they can take chances because the budgets aren't as bad. But there's been some good AAA games. I'm not going to say there are no good AAA games. There are plenty of good AAA games. But there are also clunkers. Yeah, it's just the way it is. And that, again, is just there's that many more. And there's so much copying. Oh, that worked. Let's just do that. And like 5 years later, they put that game out, and you're like, but that was like 5 years ago. That was good. I don't want to do that now. Right.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately what ends up happening. Right. So a game should be good because it's the game it wants to be, not because we want to follow a trend. Redfall is a perfect example of let's follow the trend and make it live service multiplayer. And it's like, but that's not what you're good at.
Well, concerning live service, okay, let's take live service for instance. I think that all live service games, I think from a development standpoint, they should start doing early access right away as soon as it's playable for their customers to actually help shape the game. Because and they could charge a little bit for this to help them make this game a great game. This is what a lot of successful games have done in the past 5 years. Baldur's Gate 3 was one of those games. The community helped shape that game in early access. Path of Exiles 2 is another one. That game is still in early access, and just recently it got an update, or is getting an update that's incredible. And how they're doing these updates is based on player feedback. And I think that that is very important to the success of a live service game. I think more developers need to do that. I think that is the winning formula. You have to do early access and listen to the feedback, because I think you can make something incredible based on what the gamers want, because that's what you're selling to anyway. Like, fuck the shareholders, honestly. Like, yes, at the end of the day, it's their money.
Right?
Yeah, they want the money, but if they see that there is favorable impressions on a game in early access, the shareholders will be happy. They will be happy.
And shareholders, by the way, have no actual direct say in what the game is. All they want is a return, right?
That's it.
It's up to the management team, right, to figure out what will or will not work. And it's them figuring out, oh, this is a good formula or not, right? Ultimately, it always comes down to, is the game fun? Will people want to enjoy it? And that's it. So, following trends, sometimes even the management team of the studio might be onto something or not onto something, and they go down a rabbit hole of bad ideas, right? That happens. Marathon, anyone? This is what happened. Like, there's plenty. Concord, I can't even believe that thing failed so
Suicide
miserably.
Squad. That's another one. Suicide Squad.
Another one.
Terrible.
Like, what happened here? Bad idea. Like, terrible. There've been plenty of those, right? Redfall was another clunker. It is what it is, right? There are plenty of those kind of things. But yeah, it's really just, is the play of the game, is it fun, right? And that's something they have to figure out. And I agree with you on the especially in a live game. You definitely want to test it, make sure it works. Hopefully, Marathon, they come back with and say, okay, we took your feedback. Here's what we did to change it. That would be awesome. I don't know how long that would take, but
yeah, unfortunately for Marathon, there's so much negative about it that people hated. So
yeah, I mean, it's possible to come back, but whatever, right? But look, I still think the gen had awesome games. Cyberpunk was great. What was the game you liked? The isotropic game.
Path of Exile, Baldur's Gate 3.
Path of Exile. Path of Exile. Path of Exile. Path of Exile. KCD 2, right? You like that one? That was this year, I think. KCD 2. There's been plenty of big games. As far as highly rated, Death Stranding 2 just came out. That's highly rated. But I'm
But is it really good? Is it really good?
I don't know.
Hargeet.
I don't know.
I've heard from some people that liked the first one. They don't really think the second one's that good.
And again, it just comes down to who plays it and they like it or not, right? And is there inflation, like Flopflation? Is there inflation of the Sony associated? You remember Flopflation from?
Yes, I definitely remember. Yeah.
But is there some meta inflation of their scores? Possibly. I don't know. That's possible, but it's still highly rated. There've been plenty of other highly rated games. There's a lot of AAA games that do well, and a lot of AAA games that don't. So that's true. So I don't want to say it's a bad gen just because of that. It's a different gen though. It certainly has changed gaming a lot, right? This gen has very much solidified that exclusivity is not happening unless you're a Nintendo.
Dude, I'm just saying. I think there's more gamers out there who have appreciated more AA's this gen that have previous gens. And I think a lot of them prefer a lot of the AA games over the AAA games. Many of them anyway, because I like I said earlier, I pointed out a handful of games like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3. You know, those are great AAA games. Objectively, I mean, not even just my opinion, but a lot of gamers' opinions. But then there's been a lot of bad. And I'm not going to say every AA is great either, because we just had Mind's Eye a few months ago, and that was terrible.
But you know, there's been a lot of good stuff too. I don't want to like take away from that. There's been like people who like
there's good stuff in every gen, but
good, right?
But then I look at
bad games in every gen too, right?
Yeah, because because for me, I take a look at everything that's coming out, including, you know, looking over at Sony's side and going, okay, I played the games that came out over there, and Sony's franchises were all, you know, you had sequels that weren't as good as the first games, in my opinion. And then I played remasters, and it's like that's basically what you gave us. You had Returnal. Returnal was a new one. It was a fresh idea, and it was critically acclaimed, but didn't sell. It didn't sell. And that's, you know, been kind of the MO for gaming this gen. It's just weird. We're in a weird space. And I think part of it too is it doesn't help that these companies are constantly raising the prices of these goddamn consoles 5 years into the gen. I've never seen this in my life, and it blows my mind. Like, I remember just a couple of months ago, we were talking about Xbox raising their prices, and we're like, what a shame. This is ridiculous. And then now here comes PlayStation.
And
predictably, yeah, you're right. We said, yeah, they're going to do the same thing eventually, and they did. But $750 for a console is not something that the average gamer is going to spend.
Yeah, thankfully that's just their higher end console, right? You can still get in with the lower, but the lower is now like $500, isn't it? I mean, like it's pretty crazy. You know, oddly enough, it's still the cheapest console to get, even with Nintendo. It's still the cheapest is the Series S. It's still the cheapest console to get. But anyway, like that's all whatever. Black Myth Wukong came out, and somehow it actually works on a Series S. Who'd have thought, right?
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that it's actually running at, you know, at times at 60 frames. Because I'm saying at times because it doesn't run at a lock 60 frames on any platform besides high-end PC. Or even a mid-range PC that's, you know, lowered settings. But the PS5 doesn't run it lock 60. I don't know if the Pro does. I haven't looked into that, so I have no idea. But
speaking of PC, that's another thing that's happening this gen is the shift to PC. It is now the larger platform than the consoles. It, you know, is certainly taking over. Microsoft is pushing that as well. I don't know if you saw any of the footage of what they're doing to enable a gaming mode on Windows, but it looks pretty impressive. It looks pretty good. So we'll see if that shifts.
I'm hoping that works, because that will help, because Windows is very resource heavy, and that is supposed to mitigate some of that and help streamline, so you might get better performance. Somebody was just telling me, one of my good friends out there, he was telling me about a program, an operating system that makes your PC kind of console-like. It's you can get rid of Windows, but it only like really works well on AMD right now. It doesn't work well for NVIDIA cards, but it's like Bizite or something like that. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
And apparently because it's less resource heavy than Windows, it makes the games run a lot better with AMD rigs, and NVIDIA is just not there yet.
Yeah, it's called Bazite. It's Linux.
Bazite.
Okay,
Bazite.
so it's just Bazite. It's Linux based. But the problem is, of course, you have that it's compatibility. It's not actual Windows. And yes, this does shut down some of the base OS features that are not needed. You don't have the desktop running in the background. You don't have the start menu running. You don't have any of that stuff going on. But it's also streamlined to be a controller-based UI, right? So you don't have the game comes up and it's in a window. It's forced to be full screen.
Yeah.
When you try to switch away from it, you hold down the Xbox button and it brings up a little switcher so that you can go back between whatever games, or if you want to bring up the desktop, you can. But then once it's loaded, the only way to bring it back to normal is to reboot so that it doesn't have those things loaded in memory. But these are the kind of things they're doing, and that's kind of cool, assuming they bring it to other platforms as well. But either way, I would like to see that kind of continue. But that is kind of a bridge for those who want a console interface, but get the convenience of full PC access, right? You get all the stores. If you want to go do something in the background, you want to run some mods, you can. It's all there. Everything's available to you. Go for it. But if you want that console interface, you got it, right? And we'll see how well that works out. I hope it keeps going. It looks like Windows is kind of winning that battle, even with a Bazite or whatever. It is there. It's the top one for gaming. And it's a good thing for them to finally see, hey, there's competition even on the Windows side, so we need to make that better. That's awesome. Xbox is working with them to make that happen. But the point was really that consoles are kind of dwindling, as we know, right? It's been something we've been reporting. They're dwindling, and people are seeing the value. Look, I just started a new job, right? I talked to some of the kids, the younger ones who were just kind of coming out of college, coming in like, so what is your platform? It's PC. You know what they're actually excited about? What Xbox is doing. Bringing a console interface, allowing you to play your Steam games with your Xbox library. They're like, that sounds good.
It's kind of like it's kind of like Xbox is getting ahead of the game in that respect. When it comes to where the industry is going, and they've been that way for many years now. And I know Sony guys will say, "Oh, that's ridiculous to say." It's not. I mean, you could just see what Sony is doing now.
Tell you, Sony puts their game on PC, and people see that. They're not dumb. They see it. Sony's putting their games on PC. Xbox puts their games on PC.
Moreover, the shareholders see that the games are selling on PC, so they are pushing for this. It just makes sense. I want that? Yeah,
right. I can have any form factor I like. Take it with me. Play on a desktop. Build my own. Do whatever I want. It's my choice, right? That's so people see that and they're like, why not? Tell me why this is the bad platform. When I get every game, why not?
Yeah. Colt Eastwood in the chat says Gamescom. Yeah, did you watch Gamescom?
I did after the fact. I couldn't watch it live because I was at work. But
I watched after the fact myself, and I saw some of the trailers. I saw most of them. And I have to say, a lot of the games, and this is why my mindset is this way with a lot of games these days. It's like, most of the stuff they showed was just meh. I was just like, okay, got another one of those? Another Souls-like? Oh, okay. All right.
Anything stand out to you?
Nothing.
So for me, the game of the show was Lego Batman. So I'm like, heck yeah.
See, a lot of people love that.
Game.
You're right.
And then second, it's a Lego game finally made by the same, like the TT Games company, like that makes really good Lego games. I'm like, yes, finally, because the last game I played with Lego was that stupid Horizon game. It was so bad. So,
how many copies did it sell? Like 12 worldwide?
I have no idea.
It's something like 12. But, I heard that. Believe me, trust me.
There are several Lego games coming out this year, so that's good. But look, that looked really cool. That was like my game of the show. With that, of all things, right? That was my game of the show. Like you. So look, it was very heavy on horror games. I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't. Horror games is not really my genre.
So I'm sure if you like those, there's a lot of great trailers, a lot of great stuff. Good, cool. So I gave it like a C plus B minus in that range. That's kind of where it was. I think it was good, but like nothing really stood out besides Lego. That game stood out for me. Outside of that, I'm like, okay, there's a couple of cool things here. I'm not going to say it was terrible.
You know what Lego Batman did for me? I watched that and it just made me want a good Arkham game from Rocksteady.
Yeah, Rocksteady.
Because the thing about Lego games for me, I'm not into the Lego games at all. And the reason being is no matter how cool it may look or whatever, I can't even say that because to me, it doesn't even look cool. The short, stubby legs and arms, the fighting just does not look good to me. I don't care about that. Like,
so they specifically worked on the fighting on this game, right? To make
It's more like it's like an Arkham game, but in Lego form.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
like, if you
exactly.
love that, that's cool. You guys are gonna have a blast with that game, I'm sure. But for me,
Yeah,
I'm just
definitely
not a
gonna
Lego
enjoy that.
fan. Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was like, okay, yeah, whatever. So, but I didn't. It had enough good things that I'm like, fine, I will give this a decent grade. But I
As we said earlier, though, everything was very
didn't have
formulaic.
anything.
All the games that they showed
Yeah,
is just like, we've seen this before. We've seen this is done a million times,
yeah,
and it's like, where is that wow factor in a game showcase? Like, it's just not there for me. And a lot of people will say, "Well, you're not a
maybe
gamer,
we're just
Fonz.
old.
You just don't like. You're just getting too old for games." No, I just want something refreshing. And when I get that, I praise it. Expedition 33 was just this year, and I praised the hell out of it. I loved that game. Give me more of that. Give me more of something fresh. I don't know. That's the way I
Yeah,
look at it.
there was other stuff at the Gamescom proper that was interesting. Certainly the ROG Ally is interesting. Just looking at the interface and seeing what that does. I'm interested to see where that goes because that's a Windows change, right? So I want to see where that goes. Um, but yeah, I mean, whatever. We'll see. Ninja Gaiden 4. Again, there were other things in there that were cool, but we already knew about them, right? There was the DLC for Indiana Jones, which looks good. It looks pretty good. So that might be of interest. But again, it's just DLC for a game that I already have, right? So, uh, but yeah, there's like things like that that were cool. I don't know, like,
Yeah, Danny.
interview with Keeper. It's like, okay, but show me the game. Um, yeah, again, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, and
There were a lot of little games, indie games that looked good, but again, I want to take away from that. But there
yeah.
wasn't that, to your point, the marquee thing that their marquee thing was RE, and I'm like, I don't care.
Oh,
Care.
dude, same. I'm just not a big fan anymore. Like, back in the day, I liked I think up to like Code Veronica. I was
Yeah.
really into RE games, and I played some RE games after that, but they weren't just like something I was excited for.
Yeah.
Danny
It's
Passion,
sad. I don't want to be like that, but it is what it is.
I did see, yeah, I did see the Black Myth game announcement. We talked about that. It's more of the same, and it's like cool. If you love Black Myth, you're gonna love that, I guess. I liked Black Myth. I think it was a good game, solid, and I'll definitely check it out. But I'm looking forward to what Game Science does next. Like, I want to see something outside of that.
Well, that is their next. That
Yeah,
is their
no, I
sequel.
know it is. I know it
They're
is.
making
But I
a
want to
sequel.
see something else, like a different genre, not Souls-like. We're getting inundated with just Souls-like after Souls-like, and it's like, while I love the genre, there's just too many of them, and and a lot of them aren't very good. And it's just me. I don't know. FromSoft's the king at making those games, and it's like, when I see a Souls-like, I want to see it from FromSoft. That's what I want to see, because I know they're going to do something to change the game up. A lot like Zelda does, they do for Zelda. They make a lot of changes in the mechanics and the exploration, things like that. And I want to see more of that in these games. Exploration is a huge thing for me. Because I like open world games, I want to have a lot of exploration. And that's something that's lacking in a lot of AAA games today that are open world, is that exploration aspect. You explore and you find nothing, or you explore and it's just, you really can't. There's invisible walls and stuff that happen. And yeah, it's just not for me. Valor Mortis. That blue number said, what did I think of Valor Mortis? Which one was that? I don't recall the name. Valor Mortis. I'm going to just look it up real quick, because I'll know what it is right away. Valor Mortis. Okay. Oh yeah. That game looks interesting, but again, it's like, we've had a lot of games that just look similar. Like, I don't know. It's that first person genre that we've come to know many times over, and it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. I would play it. I think it's one of those games I would try, but I just want, I don't know. I don't know what I want, okay? I just want something that appeals to me in a way where I'm not going to get bored of it after 5-6 hours, and usually if an open world game has a lot of exploration, oh, I'm sucked in. I love when the exploration is good. I love it. Colt Eastwood said, if you're looking for a game with exploration, you should be playing Starfield and doing an 8th run like me. No, Colt, come on. We've talked about this. Now, while Starfield is a good game, Starfield's exploration is lacking. Those planets, a lot of the same, man, unfortunately. And once you played through it once, like I don't want to go back.
I didn't go off the beaten path as much as most people wanted to, but so I found it very fun. Yeah, because there was, whatever they actually threw at you, there was so much good stuff there. So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good enough for me. I didn't need more than that. So,
what else happened recently that we can talk about here?
I don't know if you want to get into the hardware leaks or if you want to get into, let's see.
Tell me some of the hardware leaks, because I honestly, I don't know much about it. All I've heard is, honestly, this is what I've heard. Xbox better. Sony's next console not as good. That's what I've heard. I don't know what it is.
So let's preface that with the Sony information is pre-release of the PS5 Pro. So this is not something that's relatively new. So all of this could have changed. But what we saw with that was something that's going to be a bit more designed to not consume as much power. So they're pushing it down on that. It's still really good, but it's going to be, again, an AMD SoC, and it's going to be Zen 6 with RDNA, let's say like
12.
Somewhere in the 5, RDNA 5, UDNA 5 range, somewhere in that range. So we're looking at something like that. And it's intended to be, trying to remember the numbers now, but the CU count was lower than what the Xbox, which is Magnus, would have. And again, this is all rumors. I just want to preface that. This is all rumors. None of this is potentially absolutely true at all.
Okay.
But the CU level is going to be lower. And then Magnus is a bit higher in the CU count. It is UDNA, and it's going to be same Zen 6 cores. There's more cores, supposedly 11 versus 8 on the Xbox versus the PlayStation. The Magnus platform is something that's going to be available to others to use as well. They can go scale up and down if they want to go higher, lower, whatever, right? So it's going to be an open platform. And the mid-range is what they're targeting for the next Xbox from Microsoft. And based on that, you can, and this is, again, all rumors. Don't take this as sacrosanct. Expect somewhere in that mid-30s to high 30s T-flops on the PS versus a 50-ish on the Xbox. Again, take that as rumor. It is not in any way subjectively accurate. Or objectively accurate. It is subjective. I'm totally making those based on the data we have, making assumptions and getting to those numbers.
You know what it sounds to me like, though? It sounds expensive.
Yeah. Hey! It could be. It could be. Like, the targets for these are still in that 6-ish range, 7-ish range, supposedly. But we will see, right? Because we don't know how things will work out when they actually build it. So it could be that. It could be better. It could be worse, right? So that's just kind of how it goes. That's kind of the rumor speculation that we have. The cool thing, again, with the Xbox version of it is you can get something from somebody else. As long as they stick with that Project Magnus platform, it will be considered an Xbox. So it'll be partnered devices that allow, you can have something lower performance, right? And it will scale down, but it'll be lower performance, and it gives you the same ability to run all the Xbox stuff, right? And then you could go higher performance, right? So they can maybe put in more CUs, right? So that's another potential. This is very, very interesting, right? Because now you get to pretty crazy levels. Now, as far as raw performance, both of these are fantastic. They're both fantastic. We're looking at something like 4070, 4080 like level performances for the PS6. Maybe slightly higher, say 4080, 4080 Super for the, and again, I'm trying to compare it to NVIDIA. And again, we have to understand there's no equivalence with NVIDIA and AMD because NVIDIA is slightly ahead when it comes to actual capabilities, right? But say that kind of range for the Magnus at its mid-range that it's at, right? If you want to go higher, they can, right? And that's the beauty of the platform. So that's kind of what we're getting. That's not bad. And the beauty is you start to get to path tracing. at a reasonable performance, right? You may not like it that it's going to be maybe 30 to maybe gets to 60, but 30 frames at path tracing. That's pretty cool on a console, right? So that's kind of where we're getting. So that looks really good. It looks really good.
Well, what do you think is
We'll
the
see how that
change?
plays out.
What do you think it did it to? What has happened to the mindset of, say, Xbox? Because I know a couple of years back, you were at a table with Aaron Greenberg and Jason Ronald and stuff, and they asked you, would you pay like $1,000 for a really high-end console? And no, a few of you might have raised your hands, but he's like, not a lot of people would, so that's why we wouldn't do it. What do you think changed their minds on that?
I don't think they have changed their minds. That's why they have a mid-range spec, right? And so they're going to go with what thing they can get to you 600-700-ish range.
That's still a lot of money, yeah.
It is, but that's kind of what they're targeting, and this is just the market now, right? We like, if you look at an Xbox right now, I think the average is like $550. Is that right for the low end? I think that's how much it is, and it's $500 for the PS5. I think that's where they are now. They're pretty expensive. If you want the Series S, that's still cheaper. It's $380. That's still kind of expensive for the Series S, but it is what it is, right? So that's kind of where they are. I think they're still targeting that for mid-range, but they're giving the opportunity for somebody like me to say, well, I'd rather pay $1,200 and get something that gives me every bell and whistle. Can I do that? And they're like, sure. It'll be a partner device though, right? Still, it's an Xbox, but it's just a partner device, and they'll have a higher scale up, and you can absolutely do that. Fair enough. Yeah. So that's kind of what they're looking at, and I think that's kind of cool to me, right? Because then it's really just hey, if I want more performance, but I want the platform, I want the Xbox, cool, I can, right? Now I can get whatever I want, and I still get their benefits, right? So we'll see how that works out. I don't know if this is going to be all for the Windows side, it's going to be the console side, it's going to be both. I don't know.
I think with the higher costs of consoles, I think we're going to see lower sales. I think we're going to see, especially on the Xbox side, I really think we're going to see a lot lower sales with consoles, even from this generation.
It's moving to PC.
And yeah, I think that's what
Microsoft is saying. Why not adopt it?
I know.
People want it. Hey,
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just gradually slowly pushing everybody to PC. And that's what their handheld is basically showing, that's coming out now in October. It's getting everybody acclimated to that PC ecosystem, and people are going to be looking at the next Xbox and going, okay, well, it's it's going to have Steam, it's going to have this and that, it's going to be just like this handheld I had bought, and either they're going to buy that or they're going to just upgrade to maybe a higher end PC. Who knows? But at that point, I don't think Xbox really cares, and for that matter, I don't really care. I'm already on PC, so it's not like it's a non-issue for me. And it's a non-issue for a lot of people.
The capabilities. Yeah. I think merging the capabilities of having your Xboxiness available to you on PC is actually fantastic. If you want to take advantage of that, right? There's nothing stopping that. The downside is if you don't follow their spec, the update process may still be kind of clunky. But if you follow their spec, the update process will be seamless. So we will see how that plays out. The ROG is coming. We'll see how that looks, how it works out, right? So far, people have been impressed with it. So we'll see what happens with that. That's also another big piece of news, is that the ROG is coming. It's October 16th. They have not given us the price of pre-orders yet. And it's apparently because they've gotten pushback on the price.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people are guessing, close to $1,000, for that.
Well, no, it was supposed to. The leak came out that it was going to be $900 in the US for the top model, $550 for the mid-range model, right, the lower tier model. But they have apparently been reassessing if there's a way to make it cheaper. I guess I don't know. We'll see what they do with it, but that is kind of where it is.
I think the one problem Sony will have, or is currently having, is the fact that there's such a closed ecosystem, and they're stubborn in that regard. That's going to be the hurdle they're going to have to jump over to actually make that integration in the future to PC as well, and become more open. I don't see it right now or for the foreseeable future, because they're hard-headed in that way, but they're already starting to make those strides towards multi-platform. They're already multi-platform. and eventually they're going to have to open up, because I can't see them staying more Apple-esque and trying to have that closed ecosystem and try to do what, say, Xbox is doing and be successful at it. Because no matter if you hate Xbox or what, it could really, for Xbox, this could be a massive success for them, because they have jumped. They've already started work on this years ago. They've already begun this massive migration to PC, and just become an open platform. They've always kind of been that way, and it's just they've gotten more that in
Yeah,
that
it's
regard.
natural for Microsoft because, of course, it's
Oh, yeah.
Microsoft, right? They own Windows, they
Yeah,
own
yeah.
Xbox.
It makes sense.
Look, I've been saying that it's to the benefit of Sony to have PlayStation do something similar. They could take their platform and use the Linuxiness of it and say, hey, we can take the same kind of capabilities and give you a PC-like interface that allows Steam or whatever to come over. Steam already is on Linux, right? So
Yep.
take advantage of that and say, why not? We can do the same thing. Bring your Steam library. Hey, that would be fantastic, right? I don't know if they're going to go down that path. The other thing they could do is people just buy PlayStation because of the name. So do they care what's running underneath it? No. They could take the same freaking Windows OS and say, we'll do the same bloody thing and just make it the same. And that way everybody gets everything. That's also an option. Up to them if
yeah.
they want to do that. They have both platforms available to them. I think they would still go with the former, where it's more their stuff, merging other capabilities. Fair enough. But it does give them the opportunity, if they want to just say, the hell with it. Let's just take it. Because people buy a PlayStation not because it's got this special OS, and because no, they buy it because it's got the name. That's it. They just buy the PlayStation because they want to play games. So do they care what's underneath? No. So would it be fine if they just said, hey, we'll just change the UI a bit, make it look like PlayStation, but it's running Windows underneath it? Who gives a shit? Honestly, who gives a shit? Like, just do it. Like, what the heck difference does it make? It's better for them because it gives them access to the entire Windows library. Right, which, by the way, still has a lot of exclusives that people just don't like. They totally discount that Windows has a ton of exclusives that aren't on consoles. So you get that full capability.
Okay.
That's just something you finally get access to, right? So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But I agree with you. That's an interesting place for them to be, because if you see more and more of this, especially next generations, they just don't care about this console.
Well, again, if you're
do I get to play more?
If your shareholders are really, putting more emphasis on making more money and stuff on you, you're going to look to see what the other guys are doing. And obviously they've been doing that, but they're going to have to open up.
Yeah.
Danny Passionate Fisher with a 5. Thank you very much, brother. He says, good to have you back, brother. I am excited for Battlefield 6. I think Resident Evil 9, the new Black Myth game, PoE 2. Yes, me too. That new update is incredible. And Wukong isn't Souls-like, it's an ARPG. Yeah, it's more action RPG, true. It just doesn't have that exploration aspect I would like out of it. It's very linear. And that's the one con I have against it. Soil Tech, member for 3 months. Thank you very much, brother. I talk to him off and on. Great dude. He says, welcome back, Fonz.
Yeah,
Dream Team is back. So. Thank you, bro. Face.
We met up with him in LA, right?
Yes, so. Yes. He's an awesome guy. I've kept in touch with him. He's a great guy. Face 23 BKNY with a 1999. Thank you. I appreciate that. And he says, if and when Sony puts a first-party single-player game on Xbox, I'm moving to PC. Man, that's strong words coming from you, Face.
Don't say that, dude, because
that's strong words.
It's very likely to happen, and like don't make bets you don't want to make, dude. And it
I honestly think he would. And here's the thing: who cares? Like, honestly, go where you want. Honestly, I would say this: if you could afford a PC, like a high-end PC, which I'm sure you could, Face, I'm wondering why you aren't there already. Especially when you have the best versions of your games there. Like, you might as well be there. It's great. And I know you don't get them day one. That is a thing. But, man, I heard something, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody was telling me recently that they might be cutting the time in between releases on the PlayStation 5 and PC.
This is not substantiated, but it was, I believe it was Detective Seeds put out that he talked to somebody, and that is the plan, that it was going to be 6 months for games to come out on PC, and I would love that. I think that's great. I think it's better for Sony if they do that, but I don't know if that's substantiated in any way. So just be careful with those. I don't. Again, these are all rumors, right? So,
and until it's substantiated, I'm going to treat that as just a rumor because, for instance, Ghost of Yote, I cannot wait to play that game. Like, or I can wait to play if it was 6 months later.
I will definitely.
I would wait. So here's the thing, Hargeet. I would wait if it truly was 6 months later, and I knew that. But because I don't, I will be most likely playing it on the PlayStation. But if that was already substantiated, I would definitely wait. There's no point.
So speaking of that, I finally sold that PS5
Pro
anniversary.
Did you?
And
Congrats,
the PS5
man.
Anniversary. Finally, that got sold.
Did you make good money?
Not really.
No.
I sold it for like 3, versus I bought it for like 1,900 or something like that for all of them.
Okay,
so
you still made
it's something. It's still something.
You still made some good profit.
Yeah,
all right.
Still made some money.
Good job, man. Yeah, glad you did, man, because that was sitting there for a while. Somebody out there is going to enjoy just looking at it for $3,000.
Yeah. So.
Anyways.
Well, it's the Pro, the Slim, and the Portal, right? It's the entire collection.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Which includes the DualSense Edge, which is the higher end controller.
Yeah.
So it has all of it. So.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the situation with Battlefield 6.
That's another big controversy.
Yeah, apparently they've come out with some tests and stuff, open betas and stuff, or demos, I should say. People have been playing it on the weekends and stuff. I've not gotten a chance to, but I heard it's really, really freaking good. And one of the things that I'm seeing now, and that's the reason for my thumbnail, it's not the fact that I'm saying that COD is destroyed. I'm saying this is something a lot of gamers out there are saying. And because if you go to a YouTube video for COD, like their trailers and stuff, most of the comments in there, the top comments are like, COD's done, Battlefield 6 is the one, Battlefield 6 is better, all this stuff. And it's like, man, are people really freaking either this hyped for Battlefield 6 or that tired of COD, or is it a bit of both?
Or is it neither? But
well, here's the thing. I don't realistically, do I think COD's dead? No. And the reason why I say that is it's too big. It's one of those games that I will say is kind of too big to fail at this point right now. I don't think it's going to fail. I still, every year we hear, oh, it's going to fail. And every year COD is like the top seller. Like it sells freaking fantastic. Battlefield 6, I will say that I think a lot of people like myself wanted a more traditional style boots on the ground game that's more realistic than crazy high flying freaking neon skins and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to be Cardi B in a game shooting other people. I just want a good shooter, that sort of thing. And I think a lot of people out there are just at that point. And I think Battlefield is just kind of scratching that itch that was so desperately needed or wanted right now with that genre of gaming, that it just makes COD look really, really bad. And that stated, I still say COD's going to sell very, very well, regardless, because that's how it is all the time. Even COD guys will talk shit, but they will buy the game every year. I don't know. That's my thought process on it. I don't know what yours is, but
so, who was it who said this? It was Scrubner. She said this. Like, there's a standard pattern of hype cycle that happens for any given game, especially these games that come out routinely. So for Call of Duty, it's like, oh, it's coming. Finally, I'm very excited. I want to get the game. I'm going to get the game and play it. And that's what happens, right? They get the game. And then, like, after a few months, they're like, I'm tired of this game. There's not enough content. It sucks. It's, what the hell is going on? Why don't they do this? And then it's like, but then the new game comes. And like, oh, I got to get the new game. And this is what happens every year, right? Now, in the interim, we're kind of in that middle period right now. Battlefield finally comes out and says, oh, we're not irrelevant and pathetic because we're going to actually give you a game that's good. It's like, okay, cool. The last two kind of sucked. you're gonna have to prove it to me. And so they did with the trials, right? So people played it. They're like, oh, this is pretty good. Some people have said it's good. There's also some negatives. It's not like these are things that they could, and again, that happens in every game, right? That they could make better, right? Fine, fair enough. Now, am I happy that Battlefield is coming out and it's going to do good? Yes, that's finally a good thing. You want competition.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great that they're going to innovate in ways that maybe Call of Duty isn't doing, right? That's fantastic. They'll push each other. I love that. That's great. This is coming from like one of the original people that made Call of Duty what it is. Vincent Pella is the one making Battlefield. This is fantastic. Yep. That's great. Look, to me, it's a prove it. Like, make it come out and actually prove it, because I've heard this kind of hype cycle before. Even like, you know, the test runs, the betas, and then the game comes out. Oh, this kind of sucked. Right. So I'm a prove it. Prove it to me. It's fine. I do not play the multiplayer. I don't care. I'm here for the campaign. We will have to see what they do with the campaign, because I don't think they've really told us much about that. So we will see. What did happen is Gamescom told me that Call of Duty 4-player co-op campaign. And I was blown away. I'm like, you brought that back? Wait, what? Like, hell yeah. I'm far more excited for that, because I can play that with my friends.
Yeah.
I remember playing the Call of Duty campaign co-op.
Yeah.
That was fun. I don't know why that keeps getting pushed to the side, because maybe they play, you know, more, they pay attention to the multiplayer. Fine. I get it, because that's like 90% of the players. Fine. Yeah. But for me, that's the key feature. I'm like, this is fantastic. They haven't said that. I don't know that they've said that about Battlefield. I don't know that, like, I'm not even sure if there's been any information about the campaign. I know there is one, thank God, because otherwise I would not care at all about Battlefield. If there's no campaign, bye. I'm done. I don't care, right? So if there is a campaign, thank God. And so if there is co-op, that would be even more awesome. I'd love it. But either way, I'm going to play the campaign. Why? The game's going to be in Game Pass at some point anyways. So either I'll buy it if it's really, really good, or I'll just wait for it to come into Game Pass and I'll play it, right? So, but Call of Duty also comes to Game Pass, so I would just play it. To me, it's irrelevant. I have Game Pass, so I have both. So, but yes, there's this big thing about like how Battlefield is going to kill Call of Duty. I've heard this story, like you said, a bazillion times.
Yep.
And I'm like, prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it. I know people whose only game is Call of Duty. They're not switching to Battlefield. It's not going to happen. This is what they do. They buy Call of Duty. They play Call of Duty. That's it. So fair enough that it's going to do something. That's awesome. And I love the competition. I really do. I love the competition. I want them to push each other. That is fantastic news that they're coming out big. Awesome. I love it. But don't tell me it's going to beat Call of Duty until it beats Call of Duty. Good luck with that.
Boba Fett says more people played the Battlefield beta than any COD ever. Just saying. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's crazy. But at the same time, you got to understand there's a lot of hype right now with Battlefield 6. It's the multiplayer game right now that everybody's talking about. And I know people that are playing it, having a great time with it. The one complaint I hear, though, is the fact that they're and this came from several people that I know personally, say that their only complaint with Battlefield 6 is the size of the maps. They wish that some of the maps were bigger. Some of the maps are too small. And I could understand that, but that's something that they can always work on. They can, down the line, they can put out bigger maps, and that'd be a good thing.
So one of the other things is that like the gameplay mechanics of Battlefield are different than Call of Duty. And if Call of Duty players come over thinking this is just Call of Duty, it's not, right? You really have to work together towards an objective. And that sometimes gets lost if you're just one player and just assuming the other people around you that you don't know understand that that's the objective, right? They just kind of run and gun. It's like, no, this is the objective. You got to go do that. And they don't necessarily follow that. And that can be problematic, and it can make the game annoying. But if you have a crew of people, you can get together and make sure you do it right? So that's kind of part of Battlefield, right? It's a little different, and that's fine. But that is kind of the thing, right?
I agree with you 100%, Boba. He says that it won't kill it, but I think it'll eat some of the numbers. Yeah, I agree. I think it will too. And I think because this is finally Battlefield coming back to form. Okay, that's such a freaking
Which again, I
cliche,
like it.
but
I love that they do that. I want them to push each other. That would be fantastic.
yeah. So hopefully the next COD, they go a different route and they try to make it even better. But yeah, I think it's just it is definitely one of those games that is just too massive to fail. I think it's going to be fine. So yeah, because I saw somebody before we even started the show, I read a comment in the chat like earlier today. It said, if you don't like the skins, don't play it or something. And I was just like, dude, the whole point of a thumbnail is to try to attract people to come and watch or listen to what we have to say. That's not necessarily my opinion. It's basically showing you what a lot of other people are saying. No, I don't think it's destroyed. Yes, I think Battlefield will eat some of those numbers of players that play COD. But at the end of the day, COD is here to stay for quite some time, at least for the foreseeable future. I don't think it's going anywhere. It makes too much money. Earlier, I saw somebody in the chat say something ridiculous, talking about how ABK was like trash or something, like they shouldn't have bought it or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, does he not realize how much money they've already made based off of ABK? It has not been a bad thing for Microsoft to buy ABK in any way whatsoever. They have made so much money because of ABK, because of that deal already. And COD is one of the reasons why. And it will sell well, and it's going to sell a lot of microtransactions. Unfortunately, even though I and many of you may not like those skins and stuff, obviously a lot of people do because they make tons of money on it.
Yep, it works. Unfortunately, it works. So,
yeah, makes a lot of money. But yeah, Steelofax in the chat says Battlefield 6 is back, baby. Fire emojis. Danny Passionate Official with a 5. Thank you very much, Danny. He says, Hargeet, this is what my 18-year-old brother who played COD every year he grew up with. Here's what he said. Honestly, I can say it's better than COD. That's what he said about Battlefield 6. Yeah, no, there's a lot of COD players that will say that. But then there's going to be a lot of COD players who will say the opposite. It's just...
yeah. There's the movement speed of COD is different than the movement speed of Battlefield. And again, people will just get that itch. They're just it is what it is.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of people who will play both. There's a lot of people who will play both. And it just...
And nothing wrong with that. It's actually a better thing. Like, you can play Battlefield for a bit and you're like, I'm kind of bored. Okay, let's go back to COD. Fair enough. Fortnite, people do this. You switch between games. Yeah. Don't tell me Fortnite died because Call of Duty came out.
Cult Classic Cage with the $5. Welcome back, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much, Cassie. Appreciate it. It's good to be back, real crazy, real quick. Like, one thing I did not mention about my move out here. Have you guys ever watched Napoleon Dynamite? Hargeet, have you watched it? Okay.
Yeah. That's it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not far from me. And let me tell you, when I go to some of these other towns, it's very reminiscent of that. It's crazy how chaotic and just messy the Bay Area I was at in California, like in my particular area anyway, a lot of homeless, a lot of drug addicts, a lot of fucking craziness. Then coming out here and seeing like families riding bikes, families walking together. And I'm like, they do this on the streets at night? They're like, yeah. Car windows rolled down in parking lots as they're in the store. I'm like, what? There's just hardly any crime here at all. It's so insane. It's like stepping back in time. It's insane. It's like stuff I remember when I was a kid in the 80s is going on here. And I'm just like loving it. I'm just loving it a lot. It's crazy. Graybeard Gaming Cast with the $3 says, Dynamic Duo is back. Thank you very much, Graybeard. I know you asked me on Twitter, when are you guys coming back? And I was like, I don't know, but soon. Today's that day. Yeah. So anyways, what else we got in terms of gaming that we could talk about here on this day? Got anything else, Hargeet?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so I don't know which one of the many things you want to talk about. There was like right after we stopped, there was the next round of layoffs and stuff at Xbox and studio closures. I don't know did we ever get to talk about like Perfect Dark cancellation and all that. I don't remember if we ever got to all that stuff.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark got canceled. The studio's closed.
No, we didn't. That's been so long. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
Again, that's one of the things that, it's something like I told my good friend Colt Eastwood, a while back when that happened. I was like, you never know. Like you can't guarantee a game is coming out right now.
Nope.
It's honestly like, I wouldn't be surprised about any game getting canceled at this point. It's just, we're at that point in just the industry. It's insane.
Yeah, it was kind of sad, right? There was more than that one, right? There was Contraband is now put on hold. They what was the other one they canceled? I can't remember. It's been so long, but there were definitely other cancellations. Some teams were a little trimmed.
Again, some of that goes to just the state of the gaming industry right now with AAA, especially. Like, I don't think these games are cutting the mustard, and I honestly think Perfect Dark was one of those. It just wasn't. It didn't feel good or look good. They decided to cancel it and just get rid of the team, and it's like, hey, here we are. And it's insane because this was supposed to be the premier team for Xbox some years ago. Remember when they had acquired all the dream team, they got all these different people. Then you had the one guy from Sony, he immediately left. And
Everwild. Everwild was the other one.
Everwild, that one too. Yeah,
that was
Everwild.
The other one that was canceled.
But honestly, we saw nothing from Everwild.
Yeah,
it was like all vaporware to me. Like I didn't know anything about that game. What we did see of it, we were all confused. We're like, what the hell is this? And then we heard little things from the background. Oh, it's kind of like Pal World and this and that. And it's like, but we already have that. Like, what are we doing? But I don't know.
Yeah, then there was the Elder Scrolls Online team doing an MMORPG.
Oh, to be honest, I forgot to mention that. I personally think Everwild got canceled because of Pal World. I think if it was a game like that, I think it wasn't as good. And they decided to just kill it. Yep.
But yeah, so that got canceled. But again, to your point, like it was like, okay, like what have we seen for this? It's been a long time. That was announced a long time ago. Nothing's really come of it. They've like kind of booted it a couple of times, like whatever. Right. And then for Perfect Dark, that whole concept of a quadruple A studio was weird to begin with, right? They built the game and then handed it off to another AAA studio, Crystal Dynamics, who was going through their own turmoil, being bought by Embracer, and then being shuttered here and there with all sorts of crap. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know where that failure happened, but yeah, it's it's not in good shape. We were hearing that maybe, and I don't know if it's true or not, but that slice we actually saw, the slice that they had in the trailer, was just all they had. It was all kind of just smoke and mirrors, not even the full game. Like what like it wasn't running the full systems. It would just run that. And if you did something out of bounds, it would not work. And it's like, well, okay, so how much longer do you need? Another 4 years? So does it surprise me? No. I thought that whole concept was weird to begin with, but like, okay, we'll give it a chance, see what it does. It did not work out.
Yeah.
So the quadruple A initiative is gone.
Again, this is just a testament to AAA gaming right now. It's a mess. Honestly, like, you know what game I was looking forward to? And shout out to Cult Classic Cage, by the way, because I didn't play it, but I watched her review on it, and I watched others' reviews on it. Mafia: The Old Country. I couldn't wait to play. And then I just saw more and more of it, and I decided this is not the game for me. It turned out to be more of a movie with some action sequences
it is
than it was action-oriented. And it put me off already early on when I heard that it wasn't going to be open world. I was like, well, that's a miss, because the previous Mafias were open world, and they were a lot of fun to be had. Like, I personally and I know I'm in the minority, but I loved Mafia 3. I had a
I like it
blast
too.
with that game. So it already took a step back, but then I was like, no, it could still be a cool game. Maybe it's more like an Uncharted type game. Well, it kind of is, but it's really heavy on the cinematics apparently, and it's just like, I'm just not interested. I want to play. Yes, I like a good story, but give me some good action sequences, some stuff to freaking do within the game that's just outside of just, having a couple of shootouts here and there. Man, it's really, really, I was bummed about that. That blue number says Mafia sucks, sadly. Wow. See? I'm glad that I just dodged that bullet. Cult Classic Cage says, bro, I'm still disappointed in Mafia. It isn't garbage, just a sale kind of game. Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, it sucks. Sucks. That was the one one of the ones I was looking for. The other one I was looking forward to was the Crimson Desert, and that got pushed back till next year, which I don't mind a pushback. Go ahead and do that. Like, anytime a game needs more, time to be worked on and stuff and get better, go for it. Like, if the publisher is willing to freaking allow you to do that and give you more time and money, do it, because we want the game to be good. That's what it's about. And so I'm happy that got pushed back, actually. But what do we have coming the rest of this year besides Metal Gear Solid Delta? I know we've got Outer Worlds 2, which I am looking forward to. I'm going to definitely play Outer Worlds 2. But I think outside of Outer Worlds 2, I'm not really excited for much this year.
I mean, well, we have Borderlands coming. We have Ninja Gaiden 4, right? That's coming. There's actually quite a few games that are still on the horizon here, but it just depends on what you like, right? So I don't know what games are of interest to you, but
I'm very picky.
Like there's
that.
If there's Ghost of Yotai, that's coming.
That's the other one. Ghost of Yotai, I'm excited for. Yes.
Yeah, right. That's coming. There's, as I said, Ninja Gaiden. That supposedly is really good. So we'll see how that turns out. Outer Worlds, of course. Arc Raiders. Again, I don't know if you're into those kind of games. But that's coming.
Arc Raiders, I'm interested in trying to play, like to try it anyway, because I know people that have tried the early access and they really enjoyed it. So it's something that I want to try.
Yep, and then there's one of the surprises actually from Gamescom, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Actually does look kind of interesting. So we'll see if that's good. That's coming out as well. Keeper you may not care about, but that is the next Double Fine game. That's coming out.
Keeper, yes, I'm interested. I want to see more of that because I do like Double Fine. I love Psychonauts. Psychonauts 2 was amazing. Such a good game. Cult Classic 2, Cult Classic Cage with the 2. Thank you very much, Cassie. She says, "Bring me back gameplay. Dying Light the Beast."
Yeah, that's also coming out, right? So, and then at some point we have Metroid Prime 4 coming. Again, I don't know if you even have a Switch 2 or not, but
no, I don't have a Switch 2. No, we didn't get one. Surprisingly, my kids haven't asked for one. Though. My son said something about they're working on an emulator for PC, so he's not asking for one. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Well.
So
these dang kids emulating their Nintendo games on PC. Damn it.
Yeah, Silk Song, that's also coming. And then
Silk Song is a huge game for so many people, including my son. He's been talking about it forever. The past 3 years, he's like, "When's Silk Song going to be announced? When's Silk Song going to be shown?" I'm just like, "Oh man."
Yep. I mean, there's others that are going to keep, whatever. There's plenty of other ones, but I don't know. I mean, it just depends again on what you like. There's plenty of games. It just depends on if you like any of those games, right? So
yeah. Borderlands 4, I want to play that with friends. I had fun with you guys, actually, with you, Hargeet, that blue number, Colt. But it's just that price tag, man. $70. Like, it's that price. We'll see. Yeah, Cassie, he's been asking for Silksong forever. Like he's been talking about it forever. I've never even played the original game, so I don't know how good it is or anything. I haven't tried it. Freaking Colt over here with Starfield.
Yeah. Well, you could play that.
Fonz, play Starfield. he's messing around because he's been playing a lot of it lately, and I've been kind of giving him a hard time for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of games if you want to play them. It just depends on what you like, right? So I'm still inundated. I'm still finishing up Persona 3.
Oh no, we got a few games. I got a few games that I'm excited for. Ghost of Yote, freaking what is it? Outer Worlds 2. Like those are great games coming. So
yeah.
Looking forward to it.
So yeah.
And then I will try Ninja Gaiden 4 because I'll have Game Pass for Outer Worlds. So I'm going to try that as well. If it's fun, I may play through it. It just kind of looks a little dated to me, the graphics. Just
but you should look past graphics and look for gameplay.
I know. I played some good games that have some crappy graphics. I know.
So and if you want, there is like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound that apparently is really good, and then Shinobi. What the heck is the Shinobi game? There's a Shinobi game coming out, or is it out? Imminently. That also is apparently pretty good. So, but if you like those kind of games,
yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to the next Onimusha game. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah,
that looks really good. But that's not this year. That's next year. Yeah,
that's next year. So,
and then there's Metal Gear Solid Delta. Yeah, and then if you then if you like Kojima, there's Metal Gear Solid Delta, and then there's Metal Gear Solid Delta. That one's really good. Colt was doing that to me the other day. He sent me a voice message. I said, "What's coming out?" He's like, "Well, there's Metal Gear Solid Delta, and if you like Kojima, there's Metal Gear Solid Delta, and then there's a game called Metal Gear Solid." I'm like, "Colt, stop it." It was fun.
Speaking of Kojima, OD was one of the games that was not canceled, and that was confirmed by them, right? So that OD was not.
We all kind of wish it was, though, right? All of us Kojima haters, we're kind of wishing that was canceled. I'm not a Kojima hater. I just don't love his games. I liked Death Stranding. I played it a few months ago and for the first time, and it was good. It was like a 7 for me. Funny enough, it was like this big world where it was very bland, but yet explorable. Like you had to explore how you get around certain, mountains or crevasses and stuff. Like you would use ladders and ropes and like different things. And yeah, it was a lot of, it was fun for what it was, but for the most part, I just don't care for Kojima.
And Fonz, the next game of the year, Baby Steps is coming.
Oh my gosh. Look, I saw that and it looks horrible.
Sorry.
Just looks horrible. Baby
I should not make fun of a game, but it just looks so. It's just the fact that they literally made a walking simulator on a box that does walking.
Literally. Roshan was asking in the chat, isn't Onimusha December this year? I don't know. I thought it was next year.
Confirmed it's next year, but I can check. I'm pretty sure they confirmed next year for that.
Boba Fett Gaming with no one's mentioning Gears Reloaded, says Volumes.
Yeah, it's coming out this week.
Because we've played it. We've played Gears. We played these games.
Let's see. It says
oh no, that blue number. Holly is going to play Baby Steps on stream.
But the game is confirmed.
It might be funny in a stream. It might be funny to watch you play Baby Steps. That's different.
Yeah, it is confirmed 2026.
2026 for Onimusha. Onimusha.
Yeah, next year is also going to be pretty crazy.
Next year's a lot of games. Yeah, and
so we will see, but
we will definitely see if the AAA curse is still in effect or we get some breakouts next year. I hope we get some.
We got breakouts this year. Like we can't just throw them away. There's plenty of games. You like KCD 2. There's a Monster Hunter game that did really well. This
But
games.
KCD2 is by a small
pretty good.
team. Like it's Warhorse Studios. I don't know. Like that's not one of those big blockbusters I would consider like a big AAA. And it was great. It was fantastic. Same thing with Expedition 33. Small team.
Yeah, that's not
Not
AAA. Maybe you
AAA.
call that AA or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's 30, 40 people, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 that came out this year was
Yeah, but
90.
we're not going to talk about Death Stranding 2.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't know. There's games. It depends on what you want to consider. Like there are plenty of games in the 80s meta range that are pretty good.
Yeah, Cassie, that's what I think. KCD2 is AA. It's Warhorse. They're pretty small. Yeah, we got games to look forward to. I'm not saying we don't, but that said, I still personally feel that this generation has been kind of lackluster for me, for the type of games that I want to play.
That you want to play.
There's a lot of formulaic games, as you said, Hargeet. A lot of the same old, stale, tired freaking formulas. I just want to see more creativity coming out of the AAA space that we do see in the AA space. Give us more.
That you're gonna see that though, but like Doom: The Dark Ages, is that different enough, or do you think that was still kind of formulaic?
Oh, I'm gonna upset a lot of people. I stopped playing Doom. I did not like it. I did not like it. I didn't like, and that's the thing. I didn't like the changes to it. So they changed it up a bit. A lot of people did like it. So they tried, and I'm not gonna fault them for that, but I just personally I didn't care for it as much as I did the last Doom. I liked the last Doom better, and even 2016 better. I don't know if I'm in the minority for that. I know.
I mean that's just the thing, right? So when you try something, that's what you get.
Yeah, especially
so,
for sure.
But anyway, there's enough. I don't know. I think it's okay. But it just depends on what you.
No, I'm not struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like I've got games to play right now. I've got PoE 2 on the 29th. I got that new update. And right now I am playing Soulframe. It's in early access. Again, that's a game that they're putting out there in early access. It's for the people that made what is it? Warframe. I forget their names. But anyways, they've got it out there for people to try, and I'm enjoying it. It's okay. There's some exploration to be had. It's not any kind of world beater when it comes to games. It's still got a lot to prove, but so far it's decent.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, and if somebody tries something different, they'll get bashed for it. That's also a thing, right? So I don't know. Whatever. I think it's just going to be like that. If you want differentiated games, your AA's, your indies, they're going to give you those things. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I've been unimpressed by a lot of games lately. Like I'll try something, and I'll play about 2-3 hours,
like About, right?
and I stop.
I'm trying to remember if you liked or didn't like About.
I didn't like it. I tried to play it and I didn't care. And then I went back to it a second time. I tried it again and I just didn't like it. It's honestly the feel and control for me. It just feels way off. And like I want to see my character on screen, but it's like he's sliding around. It just doesn't feel right. It's just not for me. But a lot of people loved it. And that's fine. It's just,
and that's the state of it. Like it's for some people it's good, for some people it's not. It's just kind of what it is now, right? So
yep. But anyways, I don't know if we have anything.
In the interim, Grounded 2 also came out from Obsidian.
That's right,
and apparently is doing really well as far as it's very high. It was like the #1 seller on Steam for something, like that was crazy. For a preview game, and then it was playing really well as well. It was pretty high in the Steam numbers, but it did well everywhere, wherever it was. But it is currently only on Xbox and Steam. So, but I don't know. People seem to like that too, and it's not even the full game yet. So another Obsidian banger coming.
Well, Grounded is one of those games I could see why a lot of people do like it, and I've heard that Grounded 2 made like all the right changes, and like the changes they did make are very like well received. And I've seen a lot of people saying that it's much better than the first, and a lot of people are enjoying it. I played a bit of the first with Colt and stuff, and we had a good time. It's a great like party game for sure.
Yeah, it is.
And it's got base building, all that. So it's got some aspects that I do like in a game. But yeah, I think it's more meant to be more family oriented type of game. And I think that's how Colt plays it too. He plays it with his kids all the time.
Or at least co-op. It's really not as fun if it's just yourself. You really want to have the either friends playing with you or family, whatever it is, because that's where it becomes more interesting. So, yeah. So kudos to them. That's that's not AAA, right? Even though it's from a AAA studio, it's really more kind of a AA kind of effort or a single A kind of effort, right? So can't call it indie. Technically not an indie, right? Obsidian is owned by Xbox.
Web Dave with the 199. He says, "Welcome back, Fonz. Yo, Hargeet, hit that like button. Talk that shit."
Beyond tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're back to 16 shows a week now that we're back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, back to 16. Have you been doing Saturday shows with like 108 and stuff?
I've done a couple here and there, but yeah, mostly no. I've been enjoying my summer off.
Enjoying your summer off. Now you're back on. We got work to do. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess we'll be going ahead at this time from here on out. I think I was going on an hour later, and the time difference messed me up because I was looking at the time and I was like, you know what? We went on at 4. We'll go on at 4. You know, I was looking at my time, but then I wrote 3 to you. Like it was all a big thing. Anyways, we'll be going on at this time next week as well. At least we can kind of get out of here at a sensible time and have some dinner or whatever. It makes sense.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I'm an hour later now, you know, so I'm an hour closer to you. So you're only 2 hours ahead now. So
nice.
I'm not on that West Coast time anymore, which is fine.
Mountain time?
I like it. I like that mountain time. Yeah, I like the mountains. Like looking out the window and seeing the mountains. It's nice. Nice change of pace instead of looking outside and seeing the crackheads. Yeah, it's so different. So different. So good. Anyways, it's been 2 hours. Or almost 2 hours. We're going to end the show. I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially Hargeet, my co-host. Hargeet, let everybody know where they can find you next and going forward, and what you've been up to, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows what I've been up to. They all see me online anyway. My channel's Hargeet Johnny 1 on YouTube. My book, if you want to pick it up, shop.china.us. And then I'll be on tomorrow with Web Dave, 7 p.m. US Eastern. Check that out. And then I'll be on with Boom on Wednesday. And we'll figure it out from there. Let's see what crazy news comes out next.
Alfonso Mendoza says Fonz has Skyrim outside his window. Yes. That's what it's like. It's gorgeous. If you know what the Grand Tetons are, or if you don't, look them up. That's what I see out my window. It's gorgeous. Just beautiful. Anyways, with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Thank you. I know we didn't have that many people show up, but a lot of people didn't know I was coming back today. So I just announced it late last night. But I'm back. We'll be back next Saturday. And until then, everyone, have a good week and game on.